Hey everybody, how are you doing today? I got a treat for all you Aptera lovers out there. I found a documentary on Aptera that I believe you're really going to love. I think it's one of the best documentaries ever done on Aptera, and it's actually done by Free Documentary Engineering. So I think you'll find this very interesting, and so we are actually going to get right into this baby right now. Welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you here. We welcome one. We welcome everybody. And we know that Aptera is getting ready to come out with their PI 2, 3, and 4 and start revolutionizing the automotive industry. But as I brought out, this documentary that I found is actually really good. And I leave the link down below so you can check the whole thing out. The whole part on Aptera is about 13, 14 minutes long. And so I'm going to go ahead and start off with this tidbit right here, where a woman named Robin Chase, she's an American transportation entrepreneur. And she is actually going to talk about why we need Aptera. So let's check this video out right here.
No stranger to thinking differently about how we use vehicles is Robin Chase, co-founder of Zipcar, one of the world's leading car share companies, and Venium, a data network company that is helping to support what's known as the Internet of Moving Things. She's worked with institutions and authorities around the world, developing innovative transport strategies.
I think of transportation as our gateway to opportunity. Whether you want to be educated, see friends, have a job, be healthy, go shopping, everything resides upon, can you get there? How much time, how much effort, how much money? It is the glue that makes our entire lives possible. So the idea that there's one type of vehicle or one type of mobility solution that will service all of our needs is craziness. And that was what happened in the last century. When people buy a car, what happens is they think about their largest use case. They think, oh, I need to have it so in August I can take my family on some big trip with everything in back. But in reality, 70% of our trips are us alone in the car. And 50% of our trips are less than 3 miles or 5 kilometers. So the reality is, it's us moving alone by ourselves for the vast majority of our trips. And cars, whether they're electric or not, are vastly oversized for what we're actually doing.
So what Robin brings out here is so true. We don't need these big SUVs or trucks to get around because our basic transportation need is basically just us by ourselves when we're traveling around. As she brought out, 70% of our trips is just one person traveling around in these large vehicles. I remember when I bought my wife a Honda Odyssey so she could travel around and take the kids from, school and back, which was only about a mile and a half away. But the vehicle mostly sat at her job where she went to work, which was less than 2 miles away. And so just think of all the people that are riding around in these large trucks and SUVs, and they are by themselves. And so there is a lot of energy being wasted there. We don't need to waste energy like that. That's like buying a full course meal and then only eating the first course and the dessert, and the rest of it goes in the trash. So thus comes Aptera. And so we're going to talk about the next part of this show where they actually introduce Aptera. Let's take a look at that.
This is the Aptera, soon to be the most aerodynamic production car in history. With a potential range of 1,000 miles from a single charge, it's convinced over 15,000 customers to place an order, before a single vehicle has rolled off the production line. But this is not the product of an automotive giant. This is what happens when some engineers from San Diego take an uncompromising approach to efficiency. The Aptera story started over a decade ago, when electrical engineer Steve Fambro, sitting in traffic during his daily commute, became convinced that there had to be a better alternative to existing cars. Something more efficient, and certainly something more sustainable.
So I started building this car just as a hobby. And at some point, the light went on where I thought, if I could get paid to do this, I would do this all day. So I started thinking about, well, what would that look like? What is that? Well, it's a startup car company to sell the most efficient vehicle in the world.
And then Steve met Chris Anthony, an entrepreneur who was building composite wake boats, who not only shared his passion, but was also prepared to think differently.
And it was off to the races. It was really bizarre how quickly it all happened.
Well, you know, when I first met Steve and he explained the math equation for why typical vehicles use so much energy, the first thing that he brought up was a typical Toyota Camry type vehicle will use 60% of its fuel just pushing air out of the way. And it instantly struck a chord with me because I was a hydrodynamicist and I'd done lots of simulation work and worked on how fluids work. And I said, yeah, I get it. That's a problem. And he said, I think that we can build a vehicle that takes that aerodynamic drag almost down to zero. Perfect, sign me up, let's build that vehicle. And we didn't start with a marketing study or a focus group. We started with the engineering problem of how do you make transportation more efficient? And then we just ticked through the boxes on what would make the most efficient vehicle platform. And what you end up with is something that looks like what I have behind me.
So that's just the start of it. I only used about 5 minutes of the show. There's about 10 more of it that I didn't use, and I think you'll really enjoy watching this. And like I said, the link is down below. So if you want to check it out, be my guest. I believe this is one of the best documentaries about Aptera that has ever been done. And so after you watch it, give me a comment down below. Tell me how you feel about the documentary that was done about Aptera. Of course, we know that Aptera is really just now on the cusp of getting started, and they have a long way to go, but it looks like a lot of people are starting to recognize Aptera for what it really is. And very soon now, once Aptera does get on the road and people start finding out about it, Aptera is going to be a household name before you know it, probably before the end of next year. But anyway, you guys, y'all take care. I really enjoyed this. And if you want to check out more on Aptera, you can catch my videos by subscribing and hitting the link and smashing that like. And you'll catch all my videos when they come out. But to my patrons, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate all that you do. And I'm just going to say goodbye for now. But y'all guys, you take care. We got plenty more information coming out about Aptera. So once again, please hit the like, ring the bell if you want to find out more about what's going on with Aptera today. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.